Merrick Garland knows what the rules are. He issues subpoenas himself, and he doesn't let the person that he's issuing the subpoena to decide whether or not they want to comply. And yet that's what he said. He said he just doesn't think that this is something that he has to comply with. Well, with all due respect, Mr. Garland, this is not your decision. Congress has a constitutional duty to perform oversight, which is what we're doing. We're in the middle of an impeachment inquiry, which, as Chairman Jordan pointed out, has been voted on by the House already. And now we need to get the facts. You look at the White House themselves, they've acknowledged that as they've turned over the transcripts, those transcripts have been edited. Well, there's one way you can find out what the edits were, and that is to actually get the source tape, get the audio. That's the only way we're going to know what was really said. We know already by the White House's own admission that the transcript does not reflect what was said. It's only the audio that does, which is why we need to get the audio tape. And clearly there's no executive privilege. Otherwise, as has been pointed out, they wouldn't have turned over the transcript in the first place. But they've done it. But they've also acknowledged that they've edited the document that they turned over to us. Now we need to get the source document, which is the audio, and that's why we're moving forward.
Discussed, we'll be holding Attorney General Garland in contempt of Congress. He is refusing to comply with a lawful subpoena, and that's a problem under Article 1. We have to defend the Constitution. We have to defend the authority of Congress. We can't allow the Department of Justice, an executive branch agency, to hide information from Congress. We have important oversight responsibilities, and that is what is being pursued here. As you heard Chairman Jordan say, we have oversight of special counsels as well, and we have a right to know if Robert Hur's recommendation against prosecuting President Biden was warranted. And the best evidence, as Chairman Jordan said, was the audio recordings, because they provide critical insight in what that transcript itself cannot provide. We have to know if the transcript is accurate. And as a former litigator, I can tell you, and many of us know intuitively, that when you have a printed transcript that someone transcribed, you don't know with 100% certainty whether it actually lines up with the audio recording, and that's why this is so important. The Attorney General doesn't get to decide whether he hides the tape, and that's what will be determined here.
Look, the world's a more dangerous place than it's ever been. We saw that again this morning with the arrest of eight ISIS fighters here in the United States because Joe Biden opened up the southern border. If anybody wondered, and we've been saying this for years now, that because Joe Biden opened up the border, at some point our country will be at risk and our national security is undermined. And it was pointed out yet again with 8 ISIS fighters caught. How many more terrorists are in our country because Joe Biden opened up the southern border, pre-positioned in cities around this country, getting ready to do us harm? It just goes to show you the world is a very dangerous place. We need to make sure we have the tools. We ought to be working with the president to secure our southern border, but the president doesn't want to secure the border. In fact, under his own executive order, he's going to let another 1 million people in a year without ending the policies that are drawing people here illegally. We passed a bill, H.R. 2, that would fix this problem, and Joe Biden still to this day opposes that bill. After 8 ISIS terrorists were captured in America, Joe Biden still opposes the bill that would secure America's southern border. So it's very clear he does not want to solve the problem. You know somebody is that does want to solve the problem? That's Donald Trump. President Trump had a secure border. He's going to be here tomorrow, and I'm sure we're going to hear about some of those things that we're all trying to work on together to get our economy back on track, to secure our border, to make sure our military is focused on the things that need to be done to get this country back on track.
Nothing's changed, of course. In fact, many have argued that this increased the incentives for people to try to come and avail themselves of the welcome mat that the Biden administration has put forward. And you heard that 8 ISIS-affiliated persons have been apprehended. The open border has welcomed many dangerous people, and none of us knows exactly how many of them are here, may have set up terrorist cells in America, because the border's been wide open for 3.5 years, as we've recounted here, every week upon week upon week. We're demanding actual executive action from the president, and he is unwilling to provide it, and so Americans are in danger because of that.